Alina is secretly a high-ranking adventurer, but prefers to live a quiet life as a guild receptionist. One day, while working, a man named Guns, one of the elite adventurers, shows up and takes on one of the most challenging quests. It is to defeat a Hellflame dragon. This surprises everyone, as no one has managed to clear the quest yet. Alina, however, feels more annoyed than impressed that the quest is still not cleared. That night, due to the same quest, Alina is forced to work overtime. This is because the Hellflame dragon, having never been defeated, continues to attract monsters, which in turn draws adventurers rushing to take on quests. Alina is extremely frustrated, since all she wants is to go home and enjoy her evening. As she works, she suddenly reaches her breaking point and decides to take matters into her own hands. Elsewhere, in the Belfra underground ruins, Guns and his party struggle desperately against the dragon. None of their abilities have any effect on it at all. Just as they begin to lose hope and consider retreating, Alina suddenly appears, her face concealed by a hooded outfit. Furious at the dragon, she wastes no time summoning a massive hammer and slamming it down on the dragon's head, knocking it to the ground with a single powerful strike. This shocks everyone, leaving them wondering who she is. The dragon gets up and breathes fire at her, but she easily dodges it and finishes it off with the back of her hammer. Impressed by her strength, the party begins to speculate that she might be the Executioner. The Executioner is a mysterious adventurer known for appearing at undefeated dungeons and soloing them. The next day, Alina is shocked to learn that her actions have led Guns to retire. As a result, the guild launches an investigation to track down the mysterious executioner who killed the dragon, intending to force her to join Silver Sword and replace Guns. Panic sets in for Alina as she realizes that if they discover she's the executioner who operates under a fake name and has soloed bosses, she will definitely lose her comfortable job. Meanwhile, at the Adventurers Guild headquarters, Jade, the leader of Silver Sword, is doing everything he can to track down the executioner. He's amazed by her strength and wants her to join his party, but his fellow party members disagree, thinking he's becoming too obsessed with her. Elsewhere, in an alley, a man is furious that everyone keeps looking down on him. Just then, a mysterious figure approaches and asks to discuss something with him. Later, as Jade walks around town searching for the executioner, he wonders why she didn't take the relic after defeating the dragon. The relic is said to be an artifact bearing the mark of Dia, containing the skills of the ancients and capable of bestowing great strength upon its user, which is why adventurers often fight over it. He then wonders what skill she used to summon her hammer. As he thinks, he suddenly spots Alina and immediately recognizes her as the executioner. He follows her and is shocked to discover that she works as a guild receptionist, prompting him to decide to confront her about why she's hiding her true identity. Alina panics, wondering how he figured it out since her face was covered at the time. Trying to brush it off, she pretends not to know what he's talking about. However, Jade quickly shuts her down, stating that with his sharp vision and keen sense of smell, she can't hide from him. Fearing she might lose her job, Alina suggests they continue the conversation outside. Little did he know that, as soon as they were alone, Alina immediately threatened to kill him, warning him not to reveal her secret. All she wanted was to live a peaceful life. Jade then attempted to use his skills to stop her, but it was useless. Without hesitation, Alina summoned her hammer and tried to kill him. Terrified, Jade begged her to stop. His eyes shifted to her hammer, and he asked if the skill she used was a type of phantom skill, a legendary ability said to have vanished alongside the ancients, rumored to be stronger than even the highest level modern skills. Alina, uninterested in his question and focused on silencing him, simply wanted to kill him. Realizing he had no other option, Jade confessed that he was in awe of her strength and wanted her to join his party. Alina, however, refused outright, pointing out that adventurers don't have the concept of leaving work on time. Jade then wondered why she chose to fight the dragon if she didn't want to be an adventurer. Frustrated, Alina explained her reasons to him, including her hatred for working overtime, but her explanation only left Jade more confused. Annoyed, Alina began lecturing him about how valuable her time was. Before leaving, she gave Jade one final warning to stop bothering her. However, Jade silently vowed to himself that he would convince her to join his party, no matter what. Later that day, while Alina was working, a man stormed in and demanded that her friend give him a secret quest, causing her friend to freeze in fear. Alina is furious because she knows there's no such thing as a secret quest. It's all just a ridiculous rumor. She tries to explain this to the guy, but he doesn't believe her. Just as he's about to hit her, Jade arrives in time to stop him and warns him not to do it again. It turns out Jade knows the guy, whose name is Slay. After Slay leaves, Alina thanks Jade and asks why he's there. Looking nervous, Jade says he's just passing by and quickly leaves. The next day, Alina still can't believe that Jade discovered her secret. She then lies on her bed, not wanting to do anything, wishing she could stay like that forever. But then she remembers that without her job, she wouldn't have been able to get a loan for her house. Determined not to lose her job, she resolves to do whatever it takes to avoid getting fired. While Alina was enjoying her lunch, Jade approached her and asked her to join his party again. He then inquired about when her Dia skill first manifested. Alina, unwilling to answer, brushed him off and told him to leave her alone. 2 summers ago, when Alina had just started working as a receptionist, the town was celebrating its annual centenary festival. She had desperately wanted to attend, but a towering pile of work kept her at her desk. By the time she finally finished and rushed to the town, the festival was over. The streets were empty, littered with remnants of festivities. Overwhelmed with disappointment, Alina cried. She felt unworthy of the life she was living, trapped in endless paperwork, filling out reports about incompetent adventurers, failing to defeat bosses, or overdue missions piling up. The relentless overtime crushed her spirit, and she hated everything that kept her tied to her job. At that moment, Alina prayed to the gods for great power, enough to bring an end to everything holding her back. It was said that during the centenary festival, the gods listened to the deepest desires of those with the strongest will, blessing them with Dia's power. To her astonishment, her wish was granted. Alina suddenly felt a surge of power coursing through her. Later, while Jade was walking around town, wondering how to change Alina's mind, he suddenly heard an explosion nearby. Alarmed, he rushed to investigate and was shocked to find none other than Slay commanding a raid boss attempting to destroy the town. Earlier that day, a group of adventurers had successfully captured the raid boss. However, Slay saw an opportunity and used his skill to take control of it, turning the situation into chaos. Meanwhile, Alina heard the commotion outside, and when she went to check, she was horrified to see Slay destroying the town. Panicked, she rushed to check on her house, desperately hoping it was safe. However, to her shock, she found it completely destroyed. The sight filled her with fury. At the same time, Jade was struggling to fend off Slay. Just when he thought he was about to lose, Alina arrived and obliterated the raid boss with a single, devastating attack, leaving Slay terrified. Shortly after, the guildmaster, Glenn, arrived at the scene to assess the situation. He used his skill, Time Observer, to investigate the area. Elsewhere, Alina was devastated by the loss of her house. Trying to comfort her, Jade offered her a place to stay at his home for the night. Alina, however, glared at him in disgust and bluntly told him she would stay at an inn instead. After that, Alina returned to the Adventurers Guild to finish her work, with Jade gladly tagging along to help. To Alina's surprise, Jade turned out to be much better at her job than she was, which annoyed her to no end. Noticing her frustration and growing gloom, Jade tried to cheer her up by finding something sweet for her to eat. While checking his purse, he suddenly noticed some text inside the relic Alina had crushed the other day. Upon examining it, the message revealed a hidden quest: to defeat all the floor bosses in the Chalk Tower. Alina, uninterested in the quest, brushed it off and went back to her work, while Jade quietly decided to investigate it on his own. The next day, Alina was shocked to find herself in the news again. Just then, her friend, who believed the executioner was a man, came over and started gushing about how cool the executioner was for protecting the town. Apparently, her friend was a huge fan of the executioner. Alina didn't know how to respond, so she could only smile nervously. Later, while Alina was working, the guildmaster, Glenn, came to find her and told her to meet him at the guild's headquarters. He revealed that he knew she was the executioner due to his skill, which allowed him not only to stop time at the scene, but also to see into the past. Alina thought her life was over. She was sure she was going to get fired from her job. Seeing her so down, Jade tried to cheer her up, but she snapped at him, telling him to leave her alone and that she hated him. Hearing this, Jade broke down in tears. His party members felt bad for him, but didn't know how to help. They then looked at Alina, still struggling to believe that she was the executioner. Afterwards, she went to meet the guildmaster. To her surprise, instead of firing her, he wanted to challenge her to a duel, leaving her stunned. If you come this far, please consider liking and subscribing for more videos like this. Thank